So I'm at the dojo right now, and this morning I got an email, or yesterday I got an email from ST Sensei, and he was asking me about Gamaku, and it's kind of hard to explain. Some people think it's a concept. I guess it can be considered that, but Gamaku is an Okinawan word, so I thought I'd do a quick explanation and maybe see if I can't explain it a little bit on the Makiwara, because I couldn't really answer Sensei's question that effectively in an email. So Gamaku refers to basically a part of the body, and in Japanese a lot of times we talk about koshi, right? Well, koshi is really, you know, kind of here, this is the lower back and the hips. This is koshi. Koshi is around here. Of course, you have tanden, right? Tanden is kind of the lower abdomen area. You have your hara. Hara is your stomach area, you know, in here. And of course, a lot of our kata work on connecting the tanden and our lower and our upper bodies and centering ourselves in here. Gamaku is, if you think about it, is when the Okinawans say it, they're actually referring to a part of the body. It's kind of this flank area here, kind of from your lower latissimus dorsi, where it connects into here, along your side, and into kind of your obliques, and into this frontal hara area. So this area here is called the Gamaku. It's the side, it's your side, right? And so a lot of times in karate, you see a lot of, you know, like this kind of back and forth on your hips, and that's fine. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you see a lot of this wiggly kind of techniques, and I think you know there's a place for it, but Gamaku really is how you connect it all. Another thing that Okinawans say a lot is chinkuchi. Chinkuchi is the tendons and muscles, kind of the sinews, if you will, of your body. So when you talk about Gamaku, you're talking about you're putting this into your techniques, right? But it doesn't just have to be this, right? And a lot of people like this. It can also be a pulling Gamaku here. That, of course, loads up this hip, and then you drive this way into your target, right? A lot of times for basic karate, we teach that, you know, there's a single line running through your torso, you're straight up and down, and you kind of rotate on this pivot point. And that is absolutely effective. It's a good way to learn how to maintain balance. But if you think about power, what can you slam harder? A revolving door, right? Assuming you could slam a revolving door that turns on a single axis. Or if you slam an open hinged door that's hinged here and you slam it closed. You think about that, you put the same amount of power into a revolving door versus the same amount of power into a hinged door, what do you get? Well, if you think about the open end of that door, if you think about hinging here and driving here, the open end of that door is the Gamaku, right? The Gamaku. So that's Gamaku. If I think about it, I'm kind of closing the door, if you will, vice this twisting motion. I'm actually hinging here and throwing in like this. Gamaku, okay? If I'm here, that might be the opposite. I might open this way, right? And then close the hinge here, okay? So that's Gamaku. Another thing that's often related is kime and chinkuchi, and I already talked about chinkuchi. Kime just means to decide. It's a decision. If you score a goal, kimeta, you score a goal. In like soccer or something. So kime is kind of this focus on one area. So if I take the Makiwara and I say I'm going to focus, or I'm going to decide, I'm going to go to this decisive point, then essentially all of my power stops at that decisive point, right? And it looks real sharp because you get this sharp snapping motion. Chinkuchi is more about the relaxed, almost throwing of your, there's a relaxed tension in your body that allows you not to kime, not to stop everything at a single frozen focus point, but to drive through the target. So chinkuchi, where kime might look like this, right? On that one point, chinkuchi, together with my, driving to the idea of Gamaku, connecting all this and throwing this into it. Now I'm throwing all this. There's relaxed tension here. My hands are not really tight, but they're tight enough. Your tendons, bones, sinews, everything like here is driving through the target, relaxed, but it's going through the target, through the target. That's the idea of chinkuchi. So chinkuchi, Gamaku, kime, koshi, all those things, all kind of work together. And teaching, learning karate in a sequential way, but at some point, you kind of got to put them all together. And Gamaku and chinkuchi, things like that, are a little more advanced than what we normally teach people as they're first coming in the dojo. But at some point, we need to move on beyond that. Hai, それでは, I'm going to continue working out.